It's summer, time for fun in the sun. But when you take a dip in the pool, watch out.
Well, we're devastated. We're heartbroken to learn this news today.
In the last 2 weeks, horrible incidents. Coming up, the hidden dangers that may be lurking in your pool. Plus, how Chris Rock proved sometimes you can't go home again. And who Pamela really turned to when she broke up with Tommy Lee. All coming up.
50,000 towels, 30,000 sheets, 10,000 pillows. It's the Stroud's clearance experience. The best money can buy for a lot less money.
Burger joints say their burgers are big.
Would you like to try our new big burger? It's big, I'm serious.
Eat food that is big. Subway's footlongs are meals in themselves with your choice of veggies and meats on fresh baked bread. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Stop by your local Subway restaurant and enter to win exciting baseball prizes with the Angels. You may win a grand prize trip or 2 to the World Series and pick up free 2-for-1 Angel ticket coupons. Enter to win at a Subway near you. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Cheez-It, made with real cheese.
Oops! I'll get a brawny paper towel.
Oh, don't waste Brawny. Bounty'll do.
What kind of a mess do you use brawny for?
This kind.
Brawny paper towels, 10 more feet per roll than Bounty, holds up to 19 pounds per sheet, and holds sloppy messes better than Bounty can.
So that's a brawny kind of mess.
Got a brawny mess? Get a brawny paper towel.
My fellow chicken-loving Americans, this is still the land of plenty. Plenty of chicken, plenty of sides,
and plenty of summer fun with Collector's Edition Flying Star Wars Bucket Toppers. Just $1.99 with any KFC purchase while supplies last.
You wouldn't believe what some people use to improve their hair's condition, when all you really need is a blow dryer and heat-activated Thermasilk to make your hair healthier. Thermasilk, where there's heat, there's healthy hair.
Doesn't that look nice? There is nothing better than a swim to cool you off this 4th of July weekend. But before you take a dip, you should know that beautiful pool can be dangerous. Jody Baskerville has this extra special report.
The sun beats down, the mercury rises, the heat is unbearable. Relief is as close as the nearest pool or water park, but sometimes a refreshing plunge can put your life at risk.
Hey, why don't you look at Mommy? We gotta wake up, look at Mom.
When Jonathan Rigsby was just 14 months old, he and his 2-year-old sister Samira fell into a swimming pool at the family home in Danville, California. They had been in the care of a babysitter.
The babysitter said that when she came back to the family room, the glass sliding door was wide open and the children were face down in the swimming pool.
Samira drowned. Jonathan suffered severe brain damage.
My husband just sort of collapsed on the floor, and I think at that point, shock takes over.
Now Nadine Rigsby heads the Drowning Prevention Foundation and spreads the word that if you own a pool, you must build a barrier, erect a fence, or use a pool cover to keep your kids safe. But pools can kill without drowning. Whitewater Park in Marietta, Georgia looks like the ideal place for kids to chill out on a sweltering summer day. But something deadly may be lurking in the water.
We're devastated. We're heartbroken to learn this news today.
In 1998, a toddler dies and 26 other children get very sick from water contaminated with E. coli bacteria, a deadly microbe found in feces and vomit that can survive low levels of chlorine and filters. So how do you know if the water is safe? Clear water is usually clean water. Hazy water can indicate poor pool maintenance. The fewer swimmers, the better. More people means more germs. And use your nose. You may think a stronger chlorine smell is good, but it's not. Chlorine smells more when it's reacting with contamination, so milder smelling water is cleaner water. Sometimes what you can see can harm you in pools. Take dive sticks, for example. 19 million of them are being recalled after 6 children were seriously injured while using dive sticks. And beware of pool drains, too. Last week, a girl drowned when her hair got caught in one, and other horror stories abound of people injured and even killed by the suction.
Pools can be very dangerous for children.
According to Steve Valenzuela of the Los Angeles County Fire Department, the only way to keep your children safe is to never let them swim alone and always keep an eye on them.
There isn't an alarm or a latch or a security mechanism around that will substitute for adult supervision.
There are new kits out there that can test for E. coli and other bacteria in your pool. For more information, you can reach us online. We're at extratv.com.
They're violent films meant for adults, but...
You're 14, and you've just purchased 2 R-rated tickets.
Yep.
Are you surprised it was that easy?
Yeah, it was actually really easy.
Coming up, Extra Undercover, why being under 17 may not be an obstacle at your local cinema, and what theaters have to say about it.
Seems to want to talk about it.
Plus, while some say Hollywood is to blame for teenage violence, meet one star who's taking a novel approach to making sure the violence ends.
Something important happened today that will affect you. Find out first on NBC4. We're committed to keeping you informed. Breaking stories, live coverage, accurate reports, the latest news, weather, and sports. Information you need from the people you know. Watch Paul, Colleen, Fritz and Fred every weeknight at 5 and 11 on NBC4. Proud to be working for you.
Okay, we're out of here.
The Chevy Astro has lots of cargo room, seats 8, and tows more than any minivan. And a new 99 Astro comes with $1,000 cash back or 2.9% APR. Chevy Astro.
Hey, we're here.
The only truck tough enough to handle childhood.
The Ross Final Clearance. Prices so low, some items are below cost. That's right, below cost. The Ross Final Clearance. We couldn't possibly go any lower.
Life is taxing enough, so relax. We'll pay the sales tax and your financing. La Jolla Patio and Mattress.
La Jolla Patio and Mattress will pay your sales tax and your financing. No sales tax, no down payment, no interest for 1 full year. You get it today at La Jolla Patio and Mattress. We'll pay the financing until next year, and that includes your sales tax. That's incredible value. Don't miss it. The sale ends soon at La Jolla Patio and Mattress.
La Jolla Patio and Mattress.
Watch Rick, Diane, Paul, and Carlos working for you tonight at 11.
The little running back is down.
You don't want them getting in.
Okay, can I have 2 tickets?
But kids do it every day.
Thank you.
Violent sexual movies that are meant for you, not for them. Now, Extra Undercover shows how easy it is for your kids to sneak in.
Women today are living longer, healthier lives.
People turn to her for medical advice, but TV reporter Cheryl Atkinson was living a health crisis of her own.
I wanted to do the things that would give me the best chance at making the right decisions.
Coming up, her battle and the family trauma that made her decisions so difficult. Plus, Pamela Anderson Lee's new friends, and why Chris Rock's not welcome in his hometown.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. South Park, the movie, opened this week. Kids love the TV show, but the film has an R rating, and apparently for good reason. Will kids be turned away at the theater? Maybe not. Here's Les Trent with an Extra Undercover.
Oh, my God! They killed Kenny!
From South Park's murder in animation to thrill kills in the 13th floor.
Is this real?
It's all real violence. Both are R-rated movies for good reason. Restricted to anyone under 17, right?
When's the next line for 13th floor?
But it was a breeze for this 14-year-old in New York and these underage teens in Los Angeles to get tickets to the 13th floor and other R-rated movies like Instinct. With her parents' permission, Laura, 3 years under the age limit for R movies, went undercover with Extra to buy tickets. First stop, a United Artists Theater in Midtown Manhattan showing the 13th floor.
Okay, can I have 2 tickets? Thank you. Thanks.
Our hidden camera shows she was never asked about her age or ID.
You're 14, and you've just purchased 2 R-rated tickets.
Yep.
Are you surprised it was that easy?
Yeah, it was actually really easy.
Next, Laura goes to Clearview Cinema at 23rd near 7th in Manhattan.
Hi. Hi, can I have one for Instinct? $9.50. Thanks a lot.
Once again, success. Just like at the Cinerama Theater on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. 14-year-old Whitney and her friend Nick buy 2 tickets for an R-rated movie. No questions asked. Then John and Heather score with the 13th floor. She's 15, he's only 13.
2 people. $10. Okay, no problem. All right, thank you. Have a nice day, sir.
Selling to underage kids is not illegal. Theaters check ages voluntarily. But earlier this month, President Clinton pleaded with theater owners to enforce ID policies more strictly in light of the Columbine massacre and its possible ties to violent movies.
I know this stuff sells, but that doesn't make it right.
After that plea, the National Association of Theater Owners pledged to crack down. But it didn't happen where we checked.
This is pretty shocking.
Paul DeGarabedian, president of Exhibitor Relations, a box office tracking firm, watched our undercover buys. He says Wednesday's opening of South Park will have underage kids flocking to the box office.
The South Park movie, I think, is one of the first R-rated movies that I've seen that will have a great appeal to kids under 17, under maybe even 10 years of age.
The little running back is down. I think he's... Yes, he's been decapitated.
In fact, one plot line in South Park involves kids sneaking into R-rated films. And get this, creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker are even telling young fans how to get around South Park's R rating. They say buy a ticket to Wild Wild West and then switch theaters. A nightmare for theater managers.
If you have a 30-plex and you have all these screens and they're all connected by a central hallway, it's really hard sometimes to police kids if they're coming out of one theater and jumping into the next one. The first line of defense is at that ticket booth.
To see how Laura got past the ticket booth, we went back to the United Artists Theater where Laura bought the 13th floor tickets.
Excuse me, how you doing? We're from the TV show Extra. How are you? Are you required by your manager to ask for ID? They just started it? And what are you supposed to ask people? For the state ID?
We asked to speak to a manager and were abruptly handed a corporate number to call.
What does this mean?
We were then shooed off the premises by security. So we headed back to Clearview Cinema where the suddenly surly clerk spots our camera, calls for manager, and then ignores us.
Can I ask you a question? Can you tell me why you sold this ticket to this girl who's underage?
She finally motions us into a manager who, surprise, hands us a number to corporate headquarters and walks away.
No one seems to want to talk about that.
But the senior vice president of AMC does. Dick Walsh was pleased when he watched our tape, since AMC clerks in Burbank did check ID and did not sell to our underage teens. Walsh says, ironically, it's parents who often object to the ID checks.
We have gotten criticized for that from some parents who felt that it wasn't fair to their kids that they were being excluded and they can go to the theater down the street.
That's an attitude people like Dr. Wiley Drake of the American Family Association don't understand. He says the effect of our movies on young minds can be devastating.
It indeed causes children to participate in things that they wouldn't ordinarily participate in, violence, sex, or other things.
And he, like many, believes ignoring the age limit can only be a ticket to trouble in the future.
Clearview Cinema didn't return calls for a response to our investigation, but United Artists and Cinerama told us they are trying to enforce the new policies. There has been a lot of finger-pointing about kids and violence these days. Many blame the movies kids are watching, but we found 2 stars who are working towards a solution. Here's Jody Baskerville with the story.
They are horrifying images.
There have been shots fired in the gym area.
The tragic aftermath of two angry teenagers with loaded guns.
Right now.
As America recently watched the massacre at Columbine High School in disbelief, so did acclaimed stage and television star Mandy Patinkin.
Like the rest of the country, I began to weep. And then I was very torn because I didn't know what to do.
Dr. Geiger.
The man who always knew what to do as Dr. Geiger on Chicago Hope was at the time singing on a U.S. concert tour. He was so troubled by the Columbine massacre, he nearly canceled his concerts.
I thought, wow, how do you go entertain when something like this is going on? This is insane. There's nothing to entertain about.
But instead of canceling, Patinkin did something by raising money and awareness for PAX, an organization aimed at fighting gun violence through education and tighter gun control. After his 2-hour concert, Mandy took his appeal straight to the fans.
I took a cardboard box and I said, after the show, I'm going to go out in the lobby. And I'll stay there as long as anybody would like to put nickels, dimes, quarters, pennies, anything into the box.
Loose change added up to over $160,000, much of it going directly to the fight against gun violence.
It was unbelievably moving to see people not only put the money in the box, but to heartfeltly thank me for giving them an opportunity to do something about this nightmare situation.
All right, here we go.
That's also what drives Griffin Dunn, the acclaimed director of the film Practical Magic. He, like Mandy, is also involved with PAX. His own sister was murdered in 1982.
You can't help but think, what is going to happen to the next generation of teenagers? Will there be twice the amount of guns on the street, or will we affect some change right now?
Both Patinkin and Dunn are most proud of the involvement groups like PAX are having in helping to make television documentaries like Teenagers Under the Gun, an investigative report which aired Friday on the A&E network.
I made a threat to a teacher that if he didn't get out of my face, I was going to kill him.
You kind of understand, if it's possible, what could lead a kid to go out and want to kill his classmates.
And both actor and director agree that Hollywood has a responsibility in solving the rage behind the trigger. At least both of these men seem to be doing their part.
We must continue living, move forward, but at the same time never forget. Because as sure as we're sitting here talking to each other, there will be another Littleton.
Patinkin's tour is currently on hiatus, but he'll resume his one-man show in September and plans to continue raising money for PAX. As a health reporter, it was Cheryl Atkinson's job to know the latest about medical issues. But then the tables were turned, and Cheryl discovered medical expertise alone wouldn't be enough to face her own medical crisis. Jamie Colby explains.
Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News.
From political reporter to health show host, Cheryl Atkinson seemed to have it all. A successful career at CBS News.
Well, I'm interested in the foreign relations hearing it too.
A loving family. And this 38-year-old is committed to helping others by investigating medical stories on her PBS show, Health Week.
Women today are living longer, healthier lives.
But last year, in an ironic twist of fate, it was Atkinson who faced her own health crisis when a lump was found in her breast.
I wanted to do the things that would give me the best chance at making the right decisions in case it turned out to be breast cancer.
Breast cancer was a real fear for Cheryl and her 3 sisters. It was a disease the family faced before. In 1994, a lump was discovered in her mother Judy's breast. Doctors believed it was benign, scheduling a follow-up a year later. That's when Cheryl's mother got the terrifying news. The tumor was cancerous.
I felt the doctor really should have done more, that this could have been caught a year earlier, and now I was fearful that it's a mistake that could cost my mother her life.
When a lump was discovered in Cheryl's breast, she did not want to make the same mistake.
If it's just a lump and the doctor is saying, we don't think it's cancer, that's almost the hardest position to be in, because if he thinks it's cancer, it's obvious where you go from there. You get a definite diagnosis, you have it removed. If he says, we don't think it's cancer, there's all kinds of doubt in your mind.
So Atkinson, the TV reporter who was used to dealing with other people's health problems on her medical show, now had to make a choice about her own body. Should she have the lump removed, undergoing surgery that might prove to be unnecessary, or hold off on the operation and wait to see if the tumor was malignant?
What was the impact of your mom's diagnosis of cancer on your decision? My mother, having had the breast cancer, made the choice easy for me. I just thought it was a no-brainer.
Cheryl had the surgery, a 45-minute operation under a local anesthetic. The result, the lump was not cancerous. But Cheryl's scare inspired her to tell her own family's personal battle against breast cancer.
You had seemed to have done everything correctly.
On the set of Health Week, it was a poignant moment when Cheryl's sisters and mother candidly discussed their fears facing cancer as a family.
If you would get breast cancer, the fear is that anybody can get it.
Well, my first reaction was certainly fear, and how could that happen to me?
And Cheryl has some advice about managing your health care and dealing with doctors.
You know, the health is the most important thing we have. So I would just say be aggressive.
Sounds like a smart approach to me. In the latest study, it was found 1 in 6 breast cancer deaths occurred in women in their 40s. Because of that, the American Medical Association has now recommended all women over 40 get yearly breast exams.
Forget vitamins. This doctor says swallowing magnets will make you healthier.
They can reduce the rate at which you age.
Coming up, quack medicine or a fountain of youth?
Delicious.
These two ladies go anywhere Pamela Anderson-Lee does.
I'm Pamela Anderson.
And so am I.
Who they are and how they helped Pam during her Tommy Lee troubles. Plus, Chris Rock gets locked out of his hometown by the mayor. Now get ready for this weekend's Extra Snapshot. Do you recognize this face? Here's a hint. He used to sing for his supper, but this TV performer became a millionaire playing games. We'll expose this Extra Snapshot coming up.
Kind of my own boss, you know. I have a pretty set pattern that I like to travel every time, you know. Cut there across the lake, zigzag between the flags and stuff. It's brutal out there. Well, they don't pay us very well, but you know, I made enough to get my Saturn. Oh, you know, gets hit quite a bit. I got those dent-resistant panels, so mine's looking brand new still.
Time to paint? Head to Sears Big Paint Sale, featuring all weather beater, like our best satin, only $15.99. Need interior paint? Try this Sears Easy Living, only $9.99. Now's the time to paint, because with any 2 gallons, you get $2 off a Craftsman tool. Sears Big Paint Sale. Don't miss it.
The Quilted Northern Quilters.
What's that? A new kind of quilting needle?
No, dear, it's a lint brush.
To prove which bathroom tissue gives you a better clean.
Lint in a bathroom tissue?
Just watch. This is Charmin. Look how much lint it leaves.
Lint? Ugh, I don't want that on me.
Quilted Northern is made to leave you clean, not leave more lint.
Ah, a quilted clean.
A clean that leaves you feeling fresh.
Lint? Who knew?
Quilted Northern for a quilted clean.
Tommy!
Behold the power of cheese.
Man has spent centuries searching for the fountain of youth. There are creams, pills, and potions that claim to keep you younger. But now one very independent doctor in California has a crazy new way to fight back the years. Our Phil Schumann has the story.
It's a natural attraction. Magnets are already used in medicine to help ease pain, to peer inside the human body. Some even claim that magnets can help fight fat. But this doctor has a strange new way to use the force.
Well, I started swallowing them.
Yes, swallowing them. Dr. Keith Kenyon, who's been a physician for some 40 years, has been, for the past few months, munching on magnets. One a day, every day. But why?
Single electrons or individual electrons acting with individual particles of flux put
Hold on, Doc. Let's try and keep this simple.
They can reduce the rate at which you age.
That's a bit better. Kenyon believes the energy from magnets can stop free-roaming electrons from destroying our cells. According to Kenyon, most of those damaging electrons are released through the digestion process. So swallowing just one pea-sized magnet a day, which is then eliminated naturally, gets to the source of the problem.
Delicious.
It's no trick. Kenyon even took an X-ray to prove it. Take a look.
And that's it. It's still sitting in the stomach.
After you first swallowed the magnet, what did you notice in your own body?
My arthritis diminished, didn't disappear, diminished. I get more energy, and I feel better.
But before you head into the kitchen and start dismantling all these cute little refrigerator magnets looking for a snack, you might consider getting a second opinion. We did.
It seems very silly to me.
Beverly Hills internist Dr. David Kipper says there's no proof that magnets slow the aging process. In fact, he warns that swallowing them may actually be hazardous to your health.
I think there is a potential in swallowing magnets where you may injure your intestinal lining and you may cause some obstruction.
Even Dr. Kenyon can't argue with that. This old X-ray shows 3 flat magnets that actually got stuck in his intestine. They eventually passed, but this didn't stop his research.
I personally am going to keep on doing it because I have a doctor supervising me.
Kenyon admits his magnet theory, if it works at all, will take years to prove, but he hopes in time everyone will be drawn to the idea.
With my wildest dreams, what I'm telling people to do will get other people smarter than I to do research work so that we can all live to 150.
Well, there appears to be nothing toxic about magnets. In fact, farmers feed magnets to their livestock. Cows often swallow nails and bits of metal when they graze. The magnets help drag the dangerous pieces out. His comedy is controversial, and he's never afraid to speak his mind, but it seems that's caused Chris Rock some troubles in his hometown. Our Les Trent explains.
You got the right to remain silent. You got the right to get an attorney. If you get Johnny Cochran, I'll kill you.
Chris Rock's rapid-fire routine may have made Lethal Weapon 4 a hit at the box office, but the mayor of Rock's hometown isn't laughing. Chris had a homecoming concert Tuesday in Georgetown, South Carolina, but Mayor Linwood Wilson refused to give Chris a key to the city.
The comment was that they did not like his humor.
Rock's mom, Rose, says she's not always comfortable with the foul language in her son's act, but he's certainly Georgetown's biggest star.
I'm a little disappointed in the fact that he's not given the key.
Rock's lockout is no laughing matter for many Georgetown residents either.
I think he's a very talented individual. I think he would well represent Georgetown.
I think Chris Rock has established himself as a national figure and brought attention to Georgetown, and I think he deserves the key to the city.
Even without the coveted key, Chris's show went off without a hitch. She has a hit syndicated show, Two Beautiful Boys, and her ex-husband back. What more could Pamela Anderson Lee need? Well, our Jody Baskerville introduces you to 2 of her very special friends who've helped Pam through all her ups and downs.
I'm Pamela Anderson.
And so am I.
They may not look like Pamela or sound like Pamela, but they seem to be joined at the hip with Pamela, whether she's at a television convention or at the fight.
Pamela and I, we've become really, really close friends through all this, and we're always together.
The all this they're talking about is the hit show they work on together, VIP.
Okay, I can handle it. We're a dating service.
Molly Culver and Natalie Raitano play bodyguards on the syndicated hourly show, but they're also best friends with the star and co-producer, Pamela Anderson Lee. The threesome became inseparable, especially when she was having her Tommy Lee troubles. These girls made sure Pam didn't sit around and mope. Their friendship, they say, is what makes the show so successful. Of course, the sexy, tight-fitting clothes and Pamela doesn't hurt. But Molly and Natalie say there's more to the show than just looks. Sort of.
Deep, deep acting, I think.
Yeah,
Everything
has nothing
to do with the looks.
Is really just the whole dramatic, like,
it's the pull of the show.
Of the show.
In a rare Pam-free moment, Extra caught up with the 5'11" model and the former dancer as they were treating themselves to a day of pampering at Dean Rhodes, a Beverly Hills hair and beauty salon.
It's just another day on the set of VIP. Work, work, work.
All kidding aside, the girls are looking forward to going back to work for a big-hearted boss with a great body.
If I looked like Pam, I wouldn't even wear clothes. I'd just walk around like nude all day. Hi!
Pamela's show airs on over 200 stations around the country. When we come back, the answer to this weekend's Extra Snapshot.
You know, I bet I drive more than a race car driver. Of course, I only go a few hundred feet. You can tell a lot about someone from the inside of their car or truck. Like how tall they are, well, the other things they'd rather spend their money on. Hang on, Roscoe.
Our lifetime guarantee means you'll never pay twice for any covered repair. GM Goodwrench Service Plus. It's for life.
Having a family vehicle you can count on is important. For people and for alligators.
The mystery, the adventure of Disney's Tarzan, now in theaters, is only as fun as your nearest McDonald's. Your heart will pound, your pulse will race. You'll get a surprise. Buy a McFlurry dessert or Chicken McNuggets. Feel the thrill, feel the tab. Get a surprise every time. Wild offers or free food. Even the all-new Chevy Tracker. There's only one place on Earth to find this kind of heart-pounding suspense. Did somebody say McDonald's?
It's always $13 at Knott's, and you can save even more at Ralph's.
First, there was Chevy Suburban. Then came Lincoln, Lexus, Mercedes, and the others. And in the end, the one that started it all is still the one that tows the most, holds the most, and does the most. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
So did you figure out the extra snapshot? He's Merv Griffin. Griffin started out as a singer and became a TV star, but it's his business ventures that have made him super wealthy as the owner of several casinos and creator of the game show Jeopardy! Merv celebrates his 74th birthday this week, and that's this weekend's Extra Snapshot.
Great news for all you cats.
That's us, Chuck.
Really? The Whiskas you love in a can now comes in the new Flavor Lock pouch.
What a great day to be of the feline persuasion. Now wake her up. You betcha. Like this, Marv.
Woo! I'm up.
And Whiskas has the Flavor Lock pouch to seal in all the slow-cooked goodness of Whiskas' home-style favorites.
Whiskas. What cats want.
Couldn't your feet use a little indulgence? Introducing Ked Stretch. It's time to be nice to your feet.
Mom, can we get a monkey?
No, you can't always give your kids what they want. But sometimes it's a good idea to let them have their way.
Can we have some Chef Boyardee?
Chef Boyardee is real food that's real fast. Say yes to Chef Boyardee.
Oops. I'll get a brawny paper towel. Oh, don't waste brawny. Bounty'll do. What kind of a mess do you use brawny for? This kind.
Brawny paper towels. 10 more feet per roll than Bounty. Holds up to 19 pounds per sheet. And holds sloppy messes better than Bounty can.
So that's a brawny kind of mess.
Got a brawny mess? Get a brawny paper towel.
Jeans fade. Love fades.
Red hair color? That won't be happening.
New Color Shield Formula Shampoo helps lock in your color, so don't just wash your hair.
Color Shield it.
From Salon Selectives. Some days, 2 is the perfect equation for happiness. New cheesecake singles. 2 luscious slices, creamy, right out of the freezer. Sara Lee. Add some delicious to your life.
This year, the real fireworks start after the 4th of July. Monday. It's the premiere of Passions, NBC's hot new daytime drama that everyone's talking about. From the Emmy Award-winning genius behind daytime's hottest shows comes the biggest premiere in daytime television. And you can be there from the beginning. The premiere of Passions. It all starts Monday. Watch Passions at 2 p.m. following Days of Our Lives, NBC4 Daytime.
Introducing a radically new SUV, the new Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, and nothing you don't.
That's all for now. We'll leave you with more great blasts from Grucci Fireworks. Have a safe holiday. We'll see you back here on Monday.
Tonight at 11, the Rockets' Red Glare, the big shows before the 4th of July. You'll see them here. Plus, it looks so familiar, that sharp earthquake, not here, but near Seattle. And here at home, cemetery vandals are something more sinister and satanic. That story at 11.
Our goal was to create an exciting car.